You are listening to the CigarNoise Boys. I get dough to flip dough to get more for show. Get my drink on, then get on the dance floor. Look, homie, I don't dance. All I do is this. It's the same two-step with a little twist. Listen, pimpin', I ain't new to this. I'm true to this.
Oh my god!
I'm not gonna be able to. We need Skip Martin for this.
Tyler, you got a guess?
Nelly.
No, decent guess. Disco Inferno by 50 Cent.
Oh, there you go.
I've been listening to a little 50 Cent lately.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. I was not gonna get that one. I'll be honest with you.
That's all right. I mean, I usually do rock songs, but I thought I'd switch it up.
Hey, I might have missed that too. Who knows?
Yeah. What's up, everybody? CigarNoise Boys, Dom with Tyler. Joined this week by Terence Reilly of Aganorsa Leaf. What's up, man?
What's going on, guys?
Another day, another dollar. Real quick, first question before Tyler, you actually start talking about cigars. So I was at the lounge yesterday, and this older gentleman who gets around everywhere on a cart, he comes by me, I say hi to him, and he says, "What's the good word?" And then I didn't know, I was just like, well, another day, another dollar. But I wasn't working, so I didn't know what else to say. Is there a right way to answer that? I want to show him like a word of the day or something.
You should have said just living the dream.
Yeah. Next time, I'm going to pocket that.
Just living the dream.
Terrence, what are you smoking tonight?
I'm having a Aganorsa signature, the original. What are you smoking?
I'm smoking the Gardens of the Farm with that, what cap you call that? It's a torpedo, right? But what do you guys call it?
We call it a
right?
109 head.
109 head, okay. Does Warp do that with some of their stuff?
You know, off the top of my head, I can't tell you. Both the original Guardian, which was a collab with Warped, and the Night Watch, which we did on our own, both have a 109 head. I can't tell you any of his others off the top of my head if they have them.
I don't like torpedoes, and this one has a really good draw on it. So I always like. I smoked. What did I have today? Something I never had before. It was a torpedo. I had to cut off like an inch to get a good draw. This one I barely took any off, and the draw is perfect.
Yeah, a 109 head is almost like a Toro. It's just it's a very slight taper, so it's kind of makes everybody happy. If you like a torpedo, well, it's fine, and if you don't, you can cut off barely anything, and it basically becomes a Toro. So it's kind of makes everybody happy.
Real quick, if anybody didn't, if someone didn't do research or see any reviews from the trade show, what wrapper leaf is used for that, and why is it so special?
Yeah, so the Guardian of the Farm. Sorry.
I was getting to that. Well, I wanted to say this is the longest wrapper name I've ever had. You ready? This is what I wrote down: Cuban seed, shade grown, and Jalapa Maduro. Or what's the best way to say that?
So shade grown Corojo Maduro is probably it's not still long that way, but slightly more condensed than what you were saying. So shade grown Corojo Maduro. But all those words matter because it's Corojo. You're grown in Nicaragua. It's shade grown, and it's a Maduro, which all those things together make it unique. Nicaragua is not known for growing Maduro wrapper, and certainly not wrapper that's Maduro is, as far as I know, never grown under shade, generally speaking. So what made it interesting was that we used higher primings of shade-grown capa and fermented it for longer using our Corojo 99 seeds and created that wrapper. So it's on the Guardian of the Farm Night Watch, which you're smoking. It's also on the Lunatic Locos and on the Aganorsa Signature Maduro.
Yeah, I tried to make that as long as I could. On purpose.
Well, mission accomplished. Mission accomplished.
Thank you. So I heard that all your wrapper leaves, when I say I heard, I mean I read it, all your wrapper leaves are grown in Jalapa?
For the wrapper that we use, that we grow, it's all from Jalapa. It's hard to grow wrapper in Esteli. it's a little bit more in terms of the climate. It's a little hotter, I think, down there than up in Jalapa, and just wrapper quality leaf, generally speaking, is an easier proposition up in Jalapa. So our Corojo natural, our Corojo Maduro, we have some sun grown wrapper that we use on certain things. That's all grown in Jalapa, yes.
Okay. And Dom, don't interrupt me on this one because I wrote this out. So, are you a fan of basketball?
I love this. We're going all over the place with this. Yeah. I would say I'm out of the four major sports, I'd say that's the least of my favorites, but I still like my Celtics, and I still enjoy the playoffs, and I still enjoy watching certain players. The regular season I don't turn into too much anymore because it's just it's such a long season. They don't really put much effort in until about 3/4 of the way through. So my answer is yes, but I'm not. I would say
that's what I was looking for a yes or a no.
Sorry.
No problem. So did you know that Jerry West is the NBA logo? The NBA logo, the guy dribbling, that's Jerry West.
I did not know that. No, I did not. That's something every day.
I heard that the new Aganorsa leaf logo with the arm flexing, that's actually your arm, and that's to scale. Is that true?
Yeah.
That was the build-up?
Yeah.
I worked on that all day.
No, I think they found somebody, a model or something, and they used that person. I wasn't the model.
Like, so Dojo, they had that like with a shake weight, right? A shake weight. Is that what they call it?
There was a joke where they brought me a shake weight, and they said that's how you get the Aganorsa muscle is you use that thing for a few weeks, I suppose. So that was
okay.
That was a nice joke from Eric.
I didn't think about that. I wonder if I stole that a little bit. I might have now. But yeah, I read that on the cigar feed. Half wheel that they used your arm for that. My second question I have for you. Second question is, speaking of Eric and Dojo, which blend did you like better that you guys did, the Reviver or the Bonsai?
Oh, it's like Sophie's Choice. It's like choosing between your kids.
Mm-hmm.
I would say in terms of function, I like the Bonsai more, only because I like that size. I smoke a lot of cigars like that. I don't smoke a lot of Churchills and bigger cigars, so that cigar is perfect size for me. So in terms of that, I would say I prefer that. The blend, I think I actually prefer the Reviver blend a little bit more, but so that basically is not really a good answer. I kind of sat on the fence there for you, so that's as good as it gets.
Oh, no problem. Do you know Mike Moreland from Wolfhound Lounge?
From where? Sorry?
Wolfhound Lounge in Chicago area.
Yes, I do actually. Yes.
Me and him are pretty good friends. At the shop I work at, like Country Cigars, it's a nice establishment in Delafield, Wisconsin. We carry Aganorsa. That's where I got this Night Watch from. But he had that Rambo size that I like a lot. So when we're at TPE, I got to make sure Matt orders some of those the Rambo. I will say, the Guardian Rambo. That's that like Petite Robusto, right? Or
yeah, that's my, it's funny. The Lonsdale one was on the top 25, the top 10 list. But my favorite size is the Rambo. I love that. I probably smoked the Rambo more than almost anything. It's perfect size, and it's not a limited production cigar, so I'm not smoking the profits. And it's just it's a great size, and I love the flavor on it. I need to smoke those two, the Warped collab, and then one of the other sizes, and see what that Medio Tiempo does to it, because that's the only one that has that, right? Is what's that one? The Apollo.
Yeah, Apollo. I keep forgetting the name. That's the only one that has Medio Tiempo on it, right?
Blend's a little different on that one. Yeah, that's a slightly different blend.
Okay. I should smoke those back to back and try those. This Night Watches, I do like this new wrapper. When you made a trip to Wisconsin back in last spring, maybe, and then you gave me one of the.
Yeah, March. Yeah, I was up there. You were one of the first people to smoke it, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. And I actually, I kind of weasel a second one out of you because somebody threw it away, and I'm like, hey man, let me get another one because that cigar is amazing, and but that's limited production, right?
Wait,
Yes.
You got another one from him, or you picked up someone's cigar that they threw out?
No, they threw his out,
well,
I believe.
Well, I threw it out and said, "Oh man, I wasn't done with that." And then Terence kind of looked at me like, "Who is this guy?" And then he did give me another one. It was good. And then we smoked some old Aganorsa, and then I gave you a cigar blind, and you nailed it. I gave you the Aladino Maduro with the San Andreas, and you guessed Arroyo, and you were correct. And that was like your 18th cigar of the day. So I think you smoke as fast as I do.
Yeah, I'm a fast smoker. Well, a lot of times you're going from one place to the next, and I hate leaving a cigar. In a lot of places you can't smoke at, in the park or in wherever you're going. So I go pretty quick through. And then Aladino is a great cigar, so it's a very recognizable tobacco. So that was it wasn't too hard to pick it out.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Justo and Julio's brand there. I was going to say, oh yeah, can you talk a little? I haven't read much information about this, but so you have 2 new releases coming at TPE this year: the Supreme Leaf and the Reserva.
The Reserva is delayed. It's not going to be at the show, but the Supreme Leaf will be. So that will be kind of the debut for it on next week, right? Yeah, next week.
No, 2 weeks. Wait, right?
Well, this week is this week, and next week is next week.
Sunday's the first day of the week. Oh, it's Monday already.
Yeah.
Man, my days are all backwards too.
It's already next week. Oh my god, time goes by so fast. I'm excited. I'm coming out Tuesday night, so we should hang out. No, I'm just kidding. No, but hey, Dom's back.
I'm gonna be the only one there. So I'll as long as as long as anyone's around, I'll be happy to hang out. Otherwise, I'll be alone.
Yeah, because that's the thing about like the trade show is I got to hang out with guys like Dom. I got to meet people like him.
Dude, you were all alone. You were all alone, and I came to talk to you. I feel bad for this guy sitting in the corner at a party.
Was that my first?
It's my charitable
second
deed for
show.
the week.
Yeah, well, you brought your roommate who doesn't smoke cigars, and anyways, but yeah, that's the thing about IPCPR. There's so many fucking people there. You don't get to, like when you visit the shop, we got some, me, you, and Mike, we got some serious quality time, and that was a good time. So that's what I like about what I'm hoping the TPE is going to be a little smaller. It's not going to be a million people. We'll see. I'm really excited. Is this your first TPE show too?
I went to observe it last year, so I went out for the show, but I didn't have a booth. I was just walking around and looking and seeing who was there and what was going on, and I was impressed enough where we felt it was worthwhile having a booth this year. So this will be our first year for actually having a booth.
That's awesome. I'm really excited. Can you talk a little bit about what you observed last year, or anything interesting, or?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that it seems the costs are low for doing it. There was a lot of retailers I saw there who I haven't seen, at a trade show in quite a while. So that was interesting, and it was only a couple of days. So between the costs and the number of people going, and they really seem to be promoting getting people out there. So that's always good. At the end of the day, for any trade show, it's who's showing up, and if you get good attendance and you compare that to your cost of attending, I mean, it just becomes a numbers game. So it certainly looked worthwhile for us to be there. We'll tell you at the end of the month, but it looks very promising, and we're excited about it.
Awesome.
So I haven't been to a TPE, but I was talking to my local lounge's owner, and he said there's no smoking on the trade show floor. You have to go to like a designated spot. Is that true, or is he mistaken?
That was not true last year. As far as I know, I would have to look. I mean, they were smoking everything on there. They were smoking marijuana. They were smoking vape. They were doing. I mean, they had everything out there. The cigar people are kind of put in one side, and then the vape and the CBD and the other stuff is another area. So it's kind of separated out that way. But certainly, people were smoking last year.
Okay. Let's talk about the lunatics. So this is the first time I saw it was at the trade show last year, and the ring gauges on those are insane.
Hence the name.
Yeah, it makes sense. My uncle, his go-to is the 6x60 flathead by CAO.
Sure.
Other than, and he'll smoke one in the morning on his 5-mile walks. But I don't see too many people around me. I'm in the Bay Area. I don't see too many cigar smokers reaching for large ring gauges. Is there a place around the states, maybe a certain state that almost always has larger ring gauge smokers?
It's funny you say that. So our top 5 best-selling cigars are all 60, or with one exception, 60 plus.
Dang.
Every single one. And so if you take the 8x80, for instance, the 8x80, 1 out of 100 people will smoke that. But that guy that smokes it, that's all he smokes. He doesn't bounce around. One, there's not much other options, and two, they just kind of get stuck on what they smoke, and that's it. And so there's a store in Miami that basically has one guy that buys that cigar, and he goes through about 20 boxes a year. And the thing in the cigar industry, you don't really need that many people smoking something for it to stay on the shelf. I mean, you get a couple guys, it'll stay there if they're smoking consistently. So to answer your question, I mean, nationally, big ring gauges sell everywhere. Okay. And although the 8x80 is kind of like a very niche market, 60 plus is everywhere. And in fact, if you come out with I would say unless you're more boutique and you're looking for kind of the type of person that quite frankly would listen to this type of show, who's probably usually not a 60 ring gauge person. If you come out with 3 sizes, one of them should be a 60. I mean, just from a sales perspective.
Well, yeah. One of my 2020 goals was to, in 10 years, come out with maybe a single cigar, like small release, just something I can say I made. So I will note that. I don't know if I'm gonna actually be smoking a 70 ring gauge cigar. So noted.
Well, one of the things I'll say about it too, and again, it's not my size personally, but especially like on the 60s, which I feel are not as awkward to handle as when you get to 70 or 80. But they used to be blended. When 60s first kind of came out, I think most manufacturers felt, well, anybody that smokes this doesn't know what they're doing. Just throw some more filler in there. And they weren't as good as a cigar in a Toro or a Corona size or anything like that. And now people blend to the size, and we certainly blend to the size. So I mean, our Aganorsa Leaf Habano line, I would say the 60 is the best tasting one. It's not my size, but the blend is excellent in that size. So I would say, maybe don't go 70, 80, but try 60. Our JFR Titans, Corojo, I mean, might not be your favorite cigar, but you'd be surprised how balanced and flavorful it is.
Cool.
Yeah, at the old shop I worked at, we had a guy who would go through a box and a half every other week of the El Chiquito.
Yeah.
He was a big fan of that. And then, this is going to be kind of a long story, but it's funny when I started at the cigar shop, I came in there, I'm looking around, I'm kind of familiarizing myself with what we had there. And I'm like, JFR. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then I'm like, Casa Fernandez. I'm like, AJ Fernandez? I'm like, what? And then I start, I meet the broker, and then he starts telling me, oh, well, we make cigars for Illusione. We make cigars, which I've heard people say Illusione and Illusione. I've heard Dion say, I swear I've heard him say it both ways. I could be wrong. And then, then HVC, which we were one of the first 5. The shop I work at now and the other one, we were one of the first 5 shops to open HVC. You find out all these cigars that you guys make, and that's when I really got into it. It's like, well, why do I like this cigar? And that's what, Dom's he does blind reviews, and he's trying to figure out why does he like this cigar. He's going back on his favorable reviews. His ratings are either a single or a 5-pack, because he has a travel humidor to store his cigars in.
They're not my reviews. First of all, small batch.
No, small batch. But anyways, so, and that's the thing. And then I started finding out all the cigars you guys make, and then I'm like looking. I'm like, so then I started bringing in all these different sizes, and then like we did the jackhammer. I found the guy, this guy looking for the digger. Well, we haven't had the digger in 6 months. Well, hey, we Casa or Aganorsa makes something similar. Let's bring in the jackhammer. Bam, then they're taking that one, and then we happen to run out of the 8x80 Asylum. Well, we got, you got the big lunatic, and then you guys all of a sudden there's a Habana wrapper, and then I try like the short Titan, and it's like those are more my jam, and we went from like selling just the El Chiquito and some other stuff to we started selling a crap load of the Bueno Coseche before you guys switched the band. Yeah, and I would go and I'd say, guys, don't look at the band. In fact, let me take this off real quick before you changed it. And they were like, they're like, this is $8. I'm like, yeah, this is $8 bro. I'm like, and then I would go in the spiel that you guys control everything from seed to ash. You grow your own stuff, and I kind of give the story, and then I add that I helped raise the company up. No, I'm kidding. But
and when you do that, to interrupt your long story there, I apologize.
Don't apologize.
That's exactly the whole point. Like, that's honestly all I'm trying to do is get people to do what you just said, because it's more meaningful from you. And so when I came into the company, it was just like you said. It was people were more familiar with brands we made than us, and that's on us because we didn't have the right strategy to present ourselves. So once we rebranded as Aganorsa Leaf, and for us it's about the tobacco we grow and how we cure, ferment, age, blend, and create a signature flavor, and how that flavor, people love it. Even if you haven't heard of us, you've probably had it and loved it in some other brand. And then giving the retailer, like you did the Fumas with us, where you smoked the Corojo and Criollo from us, I believe. And then giving them that information and demonstrating to them that this isn't just some crazy story about, tobacco being grown on planet Mars and being fermented in a nuclear reactor or whatever else. It's a real genuine thing that creates a unique taste. And once you convince our retail partners of that and give them the information so that they can tell their consumers, that's how it works. I mean, that's what our success. We've been up 2 years in a row by 50%, and that's in this market, I think is outstanding. And it's because of our retail partners and consumers going around telling people that you've got to smoke Aganorsa. At the end of the day, I'm just some guy that works for the company. You're independent of me, and so is other consumers. And so your word goes a lot further than mine.
And that's the weird thing is a lot of these shops don't want to do that work, and they just want the cigars to sell themselves, so like you're kind of a product of your environment. Like when I've been smoking cigars probably almost 10 years, I got super serious that first trade show when I got back. It was like my mind, my brain blew up, and I'm like, meeting all these people, meeting Saka and just all these people you meet. And like the shop I used to go to a lot, the only cigars we would have, like new stuff, would be like the new, not that I'm saying anything bad about them, but like the new Rock Patel. Like I remember the Catch 22, that was a big deal when that came in. Or like the CAO Osa Soul, or the Pelon, or we only thing I was exposed to was that. I wasn't big in the forums, I wasn't on small batch. Now I'm on small batch or CigarNoise, and but it's you have to be, a shop can turn somebody, and that's what I focused on, was the relationships, and that's turning the guy who was smoking one cigar a week to, hey, come hang out, we have a good time here, and then they're coming in a couple times a week, or getting the guy from the a cheap bundle to the Nick's Charter Oak, for $1.50 more, you can get a really good cigar. Or the Lunatics, I got a lot of people to spend that extra buck, and they could taste the difference with a Lunatic versus a Flor de Oliva, or which is but people don't want to do that work because they just want to stand behind the counter and point to the humidor where I try to build a relationship. I want to be treated how Miguel Shodell treated me the first time I met him. The way Molly from Patina treated me when I first saw my good friend Andrew Brennan. Stuff like that. How they treated me when I was getting into it is how I try to treat the customer. You know, I want them to geek out about shit like I geek out about stuff. So, but a lot of retailers aren't like that. You know.
Yeah. So
that's the hard part.
The best scenario is what you described. That's what you want. Is you want the retailer, and his staff, and his managers, and everyone to do the process just as you described it. That's huge. I can't tell anybody how. I can't emphasize enough how important that is. As you said, though, there's also cases where the retailer is more or less happy with whatever he sells, and one thing more than another, and it doesn't make any difference, and he's happy with the guys that come in and buy what they want. And in those cases, you know, you try to work with the staff. Sometimes maybe the owner isn't that way, but his staff is, or, you know, there's a customer in the store who's influential and he influences the store. And also, hoping when I go in a store, I see the humidor, and if the cigars are all over the place, I'll clean it up, and with the GFR, we'll put the pigtails up, which looks really nice. It stands out well, and people will walk by that and look at that, and it catches their eye. So you're absolutely right. I mean, you can't rely on that process happening, because there's a lot of people that don't do it, unfortunately. But you try as much as possible to get that to happen. And there's a lot of instances where you can get it to happen. I mean, and again, we're proof of it, because that growth is due to people getting it in retailers and consumers and retail staff getting it into other people's hands that weren't familiar with it.
And that's like what Jack Tarano said once before, that, you know, when you first open the account, you deal with the owner or the manager, whatever. But then when you come in and visit the shop again, you take care of the staff, because they're the ones selling the stuff. So it's
Absolutely.
like, and that's the hard part. We had a rep come in from a company that is a smaller company, probably been around maybe 3 or 4 years. And he talked about how you have to hand sell this. And I'm like, that's tough, because I have the brands that I like now. It's like, it's hard to add. I can't add anything
Well, first of all, I would say that's a horrible way, and again, I'm sure it was well intended, but like, that's a horrible way to present things, even if it's true, which it probably is. I mean, it would have to be hand sell. What you do is you get the guy excited about it, so he wants to hand sell it. That's how you manage it. If he goes in there and he blows you away with how good it is, and he tells you about, maybe it uses some tobacco that you're not familiar with, and you really like that, well, you're going to go out and you're going to sell that because you want to. So it's you got to be careful. Hey, you got to go hand sell this. Basically, you got to work. You got to go work for me. It's like, it's like
actually, no, I think I said that. I think I mixed it up. I told him I would have to hand sell it, and I told him I don't have any room in my rotation for that. It's like, and I kind of told him, it's the relationship you build. Well, first of all, it's got to be a good cigar. I'm not, because if you start pushing stuff that you don't believe in, you lose that trust. You can lose that trust in 5 minutes, where it took you 2 years to get that trust. So
absolutely.
And that's like going back to, I was going to say this earlier about Aganorsa. I'm like, see, this is shit I got to deal with at work. And my full-time job, I write down this is on the side here. I'm going through my notebook. I write down for New Year's resolution. I'm writing down every cigar I smoke. Price point, how would I rate it? How would I buy it? Wrapper, binder, filler. And this fucking guy at work wrote, my Dixi wrecked because I'm so fucking horny, is what he wrote on my review. I said, I was writing about the Saka's Naka Tamale. I said, boxes of 7, they're coming coffins, they're great with age. And then it says my Dixi wrecked because I'm so fucking horny. And
you leave your notebook out in the public at the lounge?
No, this is at the airport.
Oh.
He's like, I'm like,
Dear diary.
Yeah, I'm like, you're
Somebody
buying me
wrote
a
that
notebook.
at the airport? Wrote that in your notebook?
One of my employees, or one of my coworkers, wrote, but he wrote it. He wrote it. My Dixi, Dixi, wrecked, WRECKED. So it says my Dixi wrecked, great with age, because I'm Sofa, SOFA, king. Oh, this guy, I hate him. No, he's a good dude, but he's. I got mad. I'm like, dude, this is my notebook. I write all my notes in it, man. And I have my Dixi wrecked in here. So I forgot where I was going. Oh, Aganorsa. If I hear,
I can't wait to see how this ties in.
If I hear it doesn't, I'll just put it through my book. But if I see something that has Aganorsa, I'm gonna smoke it. Like that new Gurkha. That's a damn good cigar. I smoked that with Juan Lopez, and that's got a really good retrohale. So
yeah. I mean, we love hearing that when somebody says, you know, hey, I smoked this other brand because I heard it had Aganorsa. One of the things we've been trying to do is we're not saying, oh, the stuff that we just make for our proprietary brands is the good stuff and everything else is the secondary. It's like we grow a massive amount of tobacco. We got 11 farms, so we can make a lot of great cigars. And so it's great to see whether it's HVC or whether it's something we make for Gurkha or whether it's for a foundation or whoever else that we're doing stuff for. When somebody says, "Oh yeah, I can't wait to try that," it's made by Aganorsa. That we feel we're doing our job because we're helping our partners as well by driving people to try their product.
So I'm reading here that you guys grow a lot, and you got so you sell 80% and you keep 20% for yourself. And then wrapper, do you keep most of your wrapper?
We keep all the wrapper. We grow about 14,000 bales, and we keep about 1,500 for ourselves. So it's probably even less than. It's probably more closer to 10% than 20. It depends on the year, I suppose. But the wrapper we only use for the brands that we make. We don't sell that off.
That's it. Okay, that's what. Cause I see that Altadas and Drew Estate buy a lot of your filler and binder, or filler at least.
Yeah.
But don't sell the wrapper, but you'll sell the wrapper. You'll make a cigar for somebody with your wrapper. Okay, that's
exactly.
Where I didn't. And then all your wrappers are shade grown, higher primings, and they're all grown jalapa. With jalapa, you get better aroma, flavor. Wrapper, Esteli, you get nice strength, nice white ash because of the heavy magnesium. And then my good buddy works for Oliva Tobacco Group, Gustavo Cora.
Yeah.
Eduardo Fernandez gives Oliva Tobacco Group some props because they gave them their big break by buying a lot of baccy from you guys, a lot of tobacco from you guys. I read an interview with Eduardo Fernandez.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is back. It's at 12,000 acres. 12,000 acres. But interesting. So,
hey,
Dom, we got an analogy for us?
Yes, I do. Let's do it. So this analogy I actually didn't come up with myself. This is from Crazy Canuck, also known as Rich.
Good guy.
If escargot were a cigar, what cigar would it be? Now, escargot is pretty polarizing. Some people like it. Some people can't get over the fact that it's snails. I actually have not had escargot.
So I would say escargot is like the Kentucky Fire Cure because it has polarizing opinions. The people that like it love it, and the people that don't won't touch it. And so it's kind of I think it's kind of the same in that sense, at least. So that's what came to my mind.
Nice. Tyler, you got anything?
Well, I mean, I'm not as fancy as Terence. You know, I live in the Midwest. You know, so it's a lot of meat, potatoes.
Fancy as me. What
yeah,
am I
mean,
wearing a fedora or something?
Well, I think I told you when I first met you, you're a lot different than I thought. I thought you were going to be a square, and you're pretty cool.
Oh,
do you mind me saying that?
Good to hear.
I'm like, oh, look at this guy. He has his shirt tucked in. You know, he's talking about leaf and strength. You know, but
Tyler wears a tracksuit every day or a hoodie.
I try to look like I'm gainfully employed.
Yeah. Well, you should see what I wore today at work. We have uniforms, and it was cold. Obviously, it's Wisconsin, and I had a pair of jogging pants on over my work pants, and I wore them all day. And then I went to the supervisor's office. He's like, "What are you wearing?" I'm like, "It's cold down there." And he's like, "Yeah, get those fucking jogging pants off." And then I always think about forgetting Sarah Marshall when he gets in a fight with Sarah Marshall, and he says, she says, "You've been wearing those jogging pants for 1 week straight." And he said, "Yeah, if it would have been Sean John, you would have been okay with it." So, like a designer, never mind. No one laughs at it. I fucking love forgetting Sarah Marshall.
I don't know. Sean John?
That's what they use in the movie. I guess I could have said Gucci or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is jumpsuit January, and JP Fingers has been repping the jumpsuit all January. But Candela, man, Candela is pretty polarizing. I tell Matt that I'm the owner of Lake Country that I like the Roma Craft Candela is really good, and he calls me a millennial. That's a millennial cigar, Candela. Because like Black Label uses that on their Green Hornet. So I think Candela. I've never had escargot, but I think Candela. I think you either like it or you don't like it, kind of thing. So, what do you got down?
I forget the year, but the Las Calaveras, the one with the bright neon green.
Oh yeah. That's a couple years ago, I think. It's either last year or the year before. 2 years ago, I think.
That kind of came out of nowhere. I know it's a wrong green for a snail, but I thought that was very different. It stood out. Well, it's kind of like Punch did the same thing. Punch had kind of neon colors for one of their cigars recently. I don't know the name of it.
What does neon have to do with snails? What does neon have to do with a snail?
Oh, no, it's neon green. I think of green being snails. But I guess really, because I've heard escargot just tastes like butter or garlic, whatever you feed them. My dad tried to make escargot. He found some like small snails and just started trying to feed them oatmeal. But they all died. It didn't work.
You come from a strange family.
That's the end of my story, yeah. Hey, Terence, I saw a picture this week. So I'm a big Schmokini fan. I saw her with some Sisters of the Leaf. I'm not sure.
Came by the office.
Okay, they were at the office. I wasn't sure if they went to a shop and you were there or what the deal was.
No, they came by our office in Miami. We roll cigars in Miami too, so we showed them that, and we showed them the warehouse, and then we sat down and did that Aganorsa experience with them and showed them how to, basically what we do at events throughout the nation, but we just did on video, and they're creating a group, the cigar smoking chicks, cigar smoking chicks, I believe it is off the top of my head. Mm-hmm. And so it's a group of 3 of them, and they're going to go around and kind of show behind the scenes into the cigar industry. So I was blessed to be their first victim, I guess, for lack of a better word. And we had a great time. It was a fun time. They were really great.
Cool. Tyler, we have to get her on for Valentine's Day.
Hey, you work on that. That's.
I'll hit her up because she was on. You just mentioned JP Fingers. They had her on first, the one and only Rebar, but we'll reach out. We have a fool's chance.
You were pretty devastated with that. You were pretty devastated.
That's okay.
Well, I think they're kind of, they keep talking about her farting, so they might not be.
If you watch the interview they did with her or whatever.
I haven't seen it yet.
They have a segment called Shooter's Gonna Shoot. And so they just went through all of her photos to find the weirdest comments, and there's some weird stuff out there.
Oh, so now, I'm sure. I can imagine.
Yeah. So now every post she has, they just comments about her farting or something to just throw off anybody who's reading the comments.
Yeah, there's two levels of people that comment on women on the internet in general. And one is the subtle comment, which is kind of like, oh, great pic, or oh wow, your eyes really come out in this picture. And then there's the guy that just says the stuff that would probably get him arrested if he were in a place in person. And that's kind of what I've seen are the two extremes of people that comment.
Yep.
Has anyone ever publicly said that you have a haircut like a rapist? Anybody?
Not yet. Well, not till now, I guess.
Well, not you guys. Matt Booth said I had when I shaved my head. He said I look like a rapist.
Oh, I thought you were
talking to him. I was like, whoa, he's gonna hang up.
No, I'm wondering if you guys heard that because I don't know what to think of that. So I actually started growing my hair back out.
Well, I was gonna say, ask when he said that because your hair is pretty long now. It's almost back to normal.
It grows back pretty fast. And that's why I told her. Everybody was like shocked. They thought I was sick. Matt thought I was a convicted rapist in prison. And I said, Matt,
when you ask people that question in the future, you may want to put the context first and then ask the question.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I got Dom, edit that out. We don't want.
I'll see what I can do, but
yeah, he said that. He said that on Coop's podcast. And then I got ridiculed because I like boxer briefs. He said you either go boxer or nothing.
No, boxer briefs, dude. I'm with you there. We're underwear brothers.
Yeah, just go with what makes you happy, man. Don't let people judge you.
I have a friend who has to wear 2 pairs of boxer briefs because he's got big balls. That's a fun fact. Oh my
goodness. All right. Back to cigars. Terence, is there a correct way to light a cigar in the car safely?
I haven't found it yet. I don't think.
Okay.
I generally don't drive and smoke unless I'm like just mind-numbingly dull, but not really, because you kind of have to take at least one hand off the wheel, and then you have to kind of look at what you're doing so you don't charge the cigar, and then you're not looking where you're driving. So I would say light your cigar before you get on the road. That would probably be my recommendation. Or get a driver. Get somebody to drive you around.
Nice.
Oh, see, I was under the impersonation, or no, not the impression. Impression. Thank you. That your son did all that for you. Your son would cut it, toast it, take a few puffs, get it going for you, and then hand it over to you.
Yeah, my fear would be that that somebody from Child Services will see that, and then I'll end up having a difficult conversation with my wife. So I haven't had my son do that yet.
Well, I figured he'd take over, in the family biz,
Well, but he's just he'll be 8 in another month. I mean, I think he's got a little bit more time to make those decisions.
Probably doesn't even like mushrooms and tomatoes yet. Come on.
He can. I don't like either of those, but he can babysit himself at least now. I mean, 8 years old.
What?
I was cooking ramen noodles on the stove at 8.
Look how you turned out.
I smoke it. Yeah, I smoke in my car nonstop, and that's why I bought this car. I bought a Buick Park Avenue just so I could smoke in it 24/7. So, what did I smoke with Miguel? I smoked. Oh crap! I don't know how to say it. Dom, how do you say that cigar I smoked?
La Coalición.
Yeah, and that you couldn't even see me in the car because there was that much smoke in my car. I had to put the window down, and it was 20 degrees out, so it wasn't that bad. But yeah, Dom, you need to start smoking in your car because you only smoke 2 cigars a week. So if you start smoking in your car,
because I have a convertible, I put the top down, I'll smoke, but I'm gonna wait till it's not California cold anymore. I'm looking for a solid 60 degrees before I can smoke.
Yeah, that's another thing. Putting the window down is annoying. Yeah, see, this car is not ideal for smoking.
Oh, that's perfect.
It is nice if you're just going on a Highway 1.
Yeah.
California.
If you don't have to turn or anything really for a while. That's nice. But any type of driving with traffic lights and gridlock, and then a lot of other annoying cars that don't know how to drive.
Tyler, you said I know you smoke a lot in your car. Do you have an ashtray? What do you use for ashing your cigar?
Well, I have an ashtray, but most of it ends up on the seat.
Tracksuit.
In the tracksuit. And what I'll do is I have a little broom. I sweep it on the floor. I should probably vacuum it. It's messy and it smells. I don't like that. I always get the cigar butt out of there. But I did buy some smoke stuff from the shop to spray on the carpet. I have leather seats. It's a 2002, so it's luxury. We're talking through and through. So that's a little. I can't spray the leather. Now if it was cloth, I could spray that thing all day long. But leather doesn't. I don't think soak up the smoke as much. But the worst is, man, that's one of the reasons why I shaved my head, is you get all that smoke in your hair, man, and then it's like, it sticks to you,
That's why
man.
you shaved your head?
There was a multiple...
Why don't you just take a shower?
That too.
I take many showers.
That's good. That's good to know.
But another reason why I shave my head is the static electricity in Wisconsin in the winter is awful. So I'll hop out the shower, looking my best. I pull my hair. I put my hoodie on over, and I put my hoodie up. I take my hoodie down, and my hair's flat. It looks like it's hasn't been washed in like 3 days because that static electricity, man. It flattens my hair. And look at this puff I have going on.
Just get a blow dryer.
Yeah, get some mousse.
Well, what I started doing was spraying Static Guard, but that stuff's really flammable. So I was afraid I was going to do a Michael Jackson and light my hair on fire.
I think that's for your clothes, not for your hair.
Yeah.
Well, I sprayed it on my hoodie.
Check the label.
I know it's extremely flammable. You can't even fly with it. We take it away from you. You can't even fly with that stuff. It's that flammable. So, but Terence, man, that view is looking pretty nice. I mean, it's building, but it looks nice.
Yeah, well, you get.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
That's the better one. There you go.
Nice.
I'm in an old office down in a creepy bedroom.
Yeah, you got a nice calendar on the wall there.
Question. Cigar related though, so we're just gonna keep this going. Is it possible to be good looking but unphotogenic? Or is that just an excuse that people say that are ugly?
No, that's definitely true. There's a lot of people that they don't pull off photos well.
I agree. I think there's something about the third dimension that changes things.
Yeah, the light. You gotta get the right light.
Yep.
Tyler, you
need to start taking better pictures for our Instagram page. Did you buy like a photo box or something?
Yeah, but I haven't used it.
Well, yeah, because the first picture you took, the cigar looked like a turd.
Which one was that?
It looked purple. It was black and it was bad.
I have to say, of all the podcasts I've ever been on, this is one of them.
This is one of them. Well, you mentioned earlier about you have to be a nerd to listen to this. Well, we don't post it. This is for us.
Yeah, I'm just joking.
That'll be a big. We actually had a pretty good download week last week, right, Dom?
Yeah, Tyler usually front loads the episodes with the cigar talk, and then I'll just bring the random, more like herf-like questions, I guess. We got who's it? I forget who asked this question. Cigar trends for 2020. Do you see anything coming up that'll be big? I have no clue how to answer this myself.
I think so much depends on FDA and what happens there. I think that's that will be a big determinant. It's hard to do a lot of new things or innovate right now with that, hanging over the head.
Okay.
I got a question.
Okay,
go ahead.
I'll throw this out. Because LFD, La Flor Dominicana, is known for their one release with all the artwork on the cigars. Then Roma Craft came out with what was it, a 2019 release where they had some Candela wrapper on it, designs.
Craft 2019.
Yeah.
Which craft?
My prediction is that that'll become more common. More artwork or designs.
I can see that.
Tobacco on top of the wrapper leaf. Make it pop a little
I can
more.
see that. Yeah, that's a good one.
I've been hearing a lot about that 2019 was a down year for releases. I don't really believe in that. Do you think people are being overly critical when they do these reviews? We went on a big rant last week about the Baca. We had Skip and Mike on, and there was a review panel that actually scored it well, but they kind of shitted on it a little bit. I think 2019 was on par with any other year. I mean, I think people are just trying to start a narrative, maybe, because I thought there was a lot of good cigars. I think some of the stuff that Viaje did, they did the TNT and the C4. I think that has this wrapper on there. The shade grown.
Yeah, on one of them at least, off the top of my head. I know you used it on one.
And that was really good. The Baca, the Neanderthal LH, Room 101 with that 10-year anniversary that AJ did was really good. Farts Maduro was really good.
Guardy the Farm, Night Watch.
Yeah, I'm smoking it right now. Yeah, there was a lot of good releases that. So I think that's. I think people are just being overly critical. I think some people, you just do too much with it. You know, you're doing too much. It's like when I played football with a guy. He was 6'4", 275, could bench press 400 pounds. He had every accessory you could have. He had the face shield. He had the $200 football glove. He had the knee braces. He had arm bands, and then he get hurt in the first quarter of every game. It's like, you're doing too much, bro. And I think people are over when they're smoking cigars. They're overdoing it, Don. I'm talking to you in your rating.
Oh, come on. On small batch or my Instagram reviews?
No, your Instagram reviews. You stopped scoring them, which is probably a good idea.
Well, yeah, because I just figured it was dumb. Because like you said, I want to review cigars that I like. So everything is above an 8, which doesn't tell you anything. Plus, the reviews are more about the humor that I do in them, not the flavor notes or whatever.
Yeah, Terence, me and Dom, we have the under 1 minute review game on lock. He's got his cigar analogy reviews. I have my one puff cigar reviews. Between those, you don't need anything else. You don't need a 7,000 word diatribe about nutmeg and baker's spice and peanut butter brittle.
I mean, that's all on you guys to make those determinations. We make the cigars and we put them out there and we hope people like them. And if they want to talk about them for 8 seconds or they want to talk about them for 2 hours, that's all on them. We do our best to make cigars people like.
In fact, I'm going to paraphrase the great Eduardo Fernandez. When he's talking about cigars, he thinks in terms of strength and sweetness. He doesn't get more sophisticated than that. He leaves that to the writers. Man, that's how I am.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah. Dom, what do you think, bro? These reviews, what do you think?
I mean, if you don't like the review, you're not going to read it. You're not going to trust the person. So essentially, they just have a journal they're keeping for themselves if they suck.
Oh, thanks, man. No, I like your reviews, Dom.
One every month.
No, your blind reviews.
Oh, yeah.
My only beef is your ratings. Just because you don't have the storage capability to store a box doesn't mean you can't rate a cigar box worthy.
That's how it is.
No rebuttal. That's all it is.
Terence, we don't want to keep you too long. Real quick though, I want to say shout out CigarNoise. Check out the app, website. Good group of guys in the app. Whether you're new to cigar smoking or you've been around a while, always good to give some feedback. But also, in between when I was trying to do my analogy reviews over winter break, I tried a side-by-side with the Claude Le Chien, the original release, and then the new release.
Oh, the Garden of the Farm? Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. I'm wondering, Tyler, have you done a side-by-side with that? And I should have done it the first smoke of the day, so I need to do it again because I think I have some left of the original.
Well, isn't every smoke you do the first smoke of the day? You smoke one.
Yeah. Okay, that was good.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Come on, Dom. Don't go quiet on me. I'm just kidding. No, I haven't done that. I haven't. The only thing I've done was the Fuma stuff where you're trying. I always thought I really liked Ometepe, and then I smoked just Ometepe. I'm like, it's nice, but I like Esteli Ligero better, you know. And next time I'm down in Nicaragua, which will be in March. So Terence, I'll let you know so we can hang out down there. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I'm going twice in 1 month, so I'm not going to be back for a while.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how was your sales meeting with Paul, aka Earth?
Yeah,
the rep around here.
Yeah, it was good. We wanted most of the guys. When I came on board, we had several territories that didn't have representation. I brought people on, and then the guys that were already here had never been to the factory or hadn't been in 10 years or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to really show them that, listen, all the stuff we've been talking about for the last 2 years, you know, we want you to see it. So that way it's one thing to for us, it's all like, that's why we have people smoke the fumas. That's why we really put everything based on the taste and flavor of our tobacco, because we want people to experience it. And so when we take the sales guys down, that's a great opportunity for them to see for themselves what we're doing. So when they go in the shop, they can say, hey, I was there, I saw this. So it went well.
I'm just, I think you should have brought one of your favorite retail partners down there. I would have had a good time down there.
I'll put it on the agenda we're not going to probably do another one in Nicaragua for a while. So next time though we do, we'll consider mixing in the retail partners as well.
Yeah, that'd be great. So you're going to Pura Sabor tomorrow? Tomorrow you're going,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I head there tomorrow. Yeah,
that's awesome. That's it's pretty fucking expensive, man. I was looking at tickets. I didn't want to take out a payday loan. The interest rate's like 700%, but I thought about going down there.
700%. What do they break your legs if you don't pay the vig? Jeez.
No, one of the funniest fucking videos I saw was this guy standing in front of a title loan place and said, guys, look, it pays to have great credit and to have your car paid for. I took out a title loan for $1,700 and my payments are $400 a month for 4 years.
Yeah,
because the interest rate is.
In retrospect, that was a mistake.
Yeah, I think he was being funny, but I actually put that on my Facebook, and I had these people don't understand my humor. I think because I get all these messages from these old people saying, "Bro, it's like 2,000% interest rate." I'm like, I'm joking. So I had to edit it. I'm like, guys, I really didn't take out this loan. I thought it was funny, but that's the one thing about Facebook, man. That's what I like about Instagram. There's not a lot of old codgers on there, so I can post my funny shit and then the joke doesn't go over. Well, the joke probably goes over everybody's head anyways. But
the problem is people don't read Instagram. They only read Facebook. I mean, they see the picture on Instagram, but they don't read.
I scroll through Instagram, just like pick. And I'll
people will read it if it's a picture of words, but if they don't actually read the caption below.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I mean, if I got to scroll down, I'm not reading it. I'm reading the first sentence.
Gotta get you in the first sentence.
Yeah, you got 10 words. I'm not looking at 41 hashtags.
All right, CigarNoise Boys picture of the week goes to VCut Everything, Richie. He just posted this, actually. It was pretty convenient. Picture of the night watch. But okay, speaking of captions, this caption is nothing good happens after midnight. He's got his nice espresso.
I saw that one, yeah.
Yeah, and his little travel humidor with warped small batch Caldwell on it. But he posted this like at noon my time. Well, he's not in the West Coast, but what is he talking about? Was this like from last? I assume it's from last night.
Why would you be drinking espresso though at night?
Some people say that it makes them fall asleep.
Huh.
I don't know.
That seems odd.
Maybe he feel like people were sleeping on the stick. Get some night watch. Smoke them.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's a lot
watch.
of unanswered questions in this. Yeah.
Night watch. Nothing good's happens after midnight.
Duh.
Yeah.
Yes. That's perfect. All
there
right.
you go.
Terence, unless Tyler has another question with his list of notes and Google Docs or whatever. Thanks. You serious?
You opened yourself up to that.
I'm just trying to keep the 1 hour mark.
You blew it. You left that one open. You left open the door.
Yeah, I guess, Terence, do you have any, in closing, is there anything you'd like to say to me and Dom that you've been holding back on, besides not knowing who we are or remembering that you've met us before?
No, I appreciate you guys having me on, and it's been quite an experience, I have to say.
I'm actually shocked that you agreed to do it. I'm not lying. Like, I was going through my messages on Instagram, and I'm like, Terence Reilly.
What, you just hit up like 50 people? You just sent a bunch of DMs?
No. I hit up.
I was the only one that said yes.
My dad said no. My mom said no. My brother said no. Matt said no. No. Actually, I just went through there. I'm like, who have I like said a couple words to? And then I'm like, Terence, I talked to him in June of 2016, and he's never heard of this podcast, but he said, yeah, I'm game. And it was like next day. So I appreciate that, man.
No, my pleasure, man.
Yeah, thanks. Otherwise, I would just have been
Right.
talking and Tyler myself. That gets old because I don't talk. I just listen.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to teach you some stuff. Well, he tells, we have Skip and Mike on, and he's like, oh, ask him some questions. You're the tobacco guy. I'm like, yeah, with you don't know anything, but these guys, what am I going to ask them?
I'm going to go back and listen to that one now because I'm intrigued as to how it went.
It went pretty bad. The thing is, I told Dom this after the interview.
In the foot. Oh my goodness.
No, that's I'm a realist with this shit. So I told Dom afterwards, like, first of all, I was kind of like, okay, that escalated quickly because it started off so hot with Mike. Me and Mike for an hour on the phone. Rosales. Skip, I hung out with Skip in Nicaragua. I was at his house in Austin. We hung out playing video games for 12 hours straight.
Your best friends.
And we get on. Yeah, no.
Blood brothers.
I think he just took pity on me. It's kind of the thing. But you get him on here, and he's like, "What questions you got?" And I'm like, "Okay, Skip, I've seen you on podcasts, bro, and you take over. I was expecting that Skip, and you never know what Skip you're getting. You're either getting, Skip going on, and I was talking about the Baca and then these reviews, and he just wasn't having it, And I'm like, so I was pretty intimidated with Skip, And then he pulls up. I'm talking to him on Skype like this, and it's like you just see half his face. He just looks pissed. And then I was pretty intimidated. And then Dom was drinking Four Loko, and it was a shit show. But I talked to Rich Canuck, and he actually enjoyed it quite a bit. And I told him, like, how bad did I sound, bro? Did I sound pretty intimidated? He's like, no, you sounded fine. I'm like, yeah, because I was kind of like, I had to like drive away and think to myself for a few minutes about everything that happened. But that was a fun podcast. It started off really with a bang, and then it kind of crashed.
Well,
awesome.
It was fun while it lasted, I'm sure.
Yeah, and then Dom's rushing me off the stage. He's got the cane trying to yank me off.
Yeah, I got great to do, man.
But yeah. Oh yeah, it's date night too. That's what I was gonna say. Thanks, Dom. Mostly Terence, but Dom, thanks for.
No
thanks again, Terence. I really appreciate it. I'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right, brother. Looking forward to in a week. I'll see you in like a week and a half.
Yeah, if you don't put a restraining order against me. I think Skip started one, though. I did get started today.
Maybe I'll just hang around him, so that way I'd save myself the time.
He's typing us to leave.
Watch out for the tall white guy with the rapist haircut.
No, Terence is taller than me, first of all.
Taller than you?
Yeah, you're 6'5", right?
Yeah, 6'5", 6'6", something like that.
You're not
in heels? I'm 6'3". I'm almost 6'3".
Dang, I thought you were taller.
Dude, there's a picture of me and him when I was 100 pounds heavier, which I can't even show anymore because I looked like a. You should have told me, Terence. You should have had a. Like when I was down there in Nicaragua, this is me going on again.
Yeah.
I had a.
You cut out a little there, buddy. You hit a button.
I wish I was actually actively muting you, but yeah, you did kind of cut out. I think you're.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm wrapping it up. Skip told me that as I was fat my whole life, and that Skip's only been fat for like 7 years, so I need to lose weight. And Gustavo said the same thing, and I'm like, all right, guys, don't worry, I got something in the works here. So I'm down 100 pounds now.
Congratulations.
And you didn't even notice, so I'm slightly offended. I mean, but anyway,
usually don't comment on people's weight one way or the other.
That's probably pretty smart.
All right, Tyler, you're done. Thanks for bearing with us, Terence, because you're over there in Miami 3 years ahead of my time, or 3 hours ahead of my time. Appreciate you being on again.
My pleasure, guys. Thanks.
All right, rock and roll.
Take care, guys.
Yeah.